everyone. I am headed to Venice tonight to go see my mom. Every time I see you guys, I've just drank a bunch of soda and my teeth are all stained. I need to go to the dentist and get them cleaned. So I had to go get a couple things in the car. I mean the house. Hey, crazy place. So I need to go in the house for a minute or two. Hey, Dylan. As you guys saw the title, that brought people on the stream. So I'm driving to Venice to go kind of surprise my mom. Uh, she knows that I randomly come up and see her. Just give me a few more minutes, and I gotta go get a couple things in the house, and I'll be right back. It's nice and warm out though. Well, for the winter time it is. All right. No. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry that took so long. I forgot one thing, too. Give me 30 more seconds. All right. I'm here now for good. Here for good. Just gotta find a place for this. Hey. So I was thinking about how you choose a winner. Hold on, Ashley's walking right by. All right, I'll see you later. Right. Don't have too much fun without me.
Okay.
I don't want you to come home and be watching beaches or something.
Oh, I might be.
No. Gonna have to cancel that Hulu again. Okay. Good day, Mercury, Raviel, Terrence, Parker, Dylan. Okay. So, I think the best way to do the win is to tell me how you got into Palms, what got you into Palms, and the best story. There's going to be two parts to this. The first part is me driving up there. I'm coming back tonight. The second part, that's an ugly dog. The second part is going to be me driving back. So 2 stories will win tonight. And then I'm going to do a vlog. I don't know if it's going to be soon or later, depending on what seed I have. And there'll be a third person too. So if someone, comes on at the last minute, I'm going to visit my mom. I'm probably going to get there around 7:20, 7:30. I'll be there till like 9. So from like 9 to 10:30, I'll be back online. So... And obviously you guys can, it's like a normal vlog. You don't have to, this isn't all about, you don't have to type me a novel or anything, but the seeds are going to be nicer than you think they are, I'll tell you that. I will throw in some, I'll throw in some Copernicia Falensis seed. Yeah, I could imagine being near Lion Arboretum would make anyone obsessed. It's a beautiful place. I've never been there, but I've seen a ton of pictures. So, here, let's not look at me anymore. Let's look at the street. Is it just me, or are pickup trucks like just getting really ugly these days? I don't know. So yeah, Copernicia Falensis, and then I'm gonna give away some Livistone Alfredii. Oh, the rush hour. Yeah, I don't know what it is that oh, and by the way, if you don't win the first time, I'm gonna have a different thing that will, different reason to to play this, or to watch the second time. So that light. Push my dent. Temp down here right now is 71 Fahrenheit. That's about 21 degrees Celsius. It's been a nice day today. Got to bring plants back out. It was a low about 50 degrees or 10 Celsius. Been kind of chilly. It's going to be chilly again this next few days. This is kind of like the most dead part of the plant season. There's no sales really until late February. You it can get pretty chilly. They bring plants in and out, seeds in and out, all that fun. Bundle up into one. So. Hey, Gus from the LBC. You know, I think Southern California I would enjoy for a good amount of time. I don't know if I could deal with all that traffic. I can hardly deal with the traffic in this town. Jeff, I actually have seed. Oh, yeah, Jeff, I'm still been looking for a 10-gallon is kind of an odd size to find, but I'll see what I can do. I'm sorry I did not respond to you. What is behind me? A jet engine? I mean, it feels warmer than 71. I mean, I've been wearing like a polyester short sleeve shirt all day, out watering the plants. It got up to today. The temperature got up to 79. Well, it's gonna be about 63 tonight. So, yeah, 15 gallons a little bit more common, but I might be able to find someone that like accidentally threw one in a 10. 10's a 10-gallon pot is more common for other tropicals, depending on what there's like, for example, poinsettia. You might find those in 10 gallons, or shrubberies, I guess you could say. So I should probably plug my phone in next time I get a chance here. That'd be sad if I had this in the live stream and then the phone ran out of battery, but the first. Hey, Market Q, look at that dead Ariensis. It looks like cousin It from the Addams Family. Oh, so when's the first donation? So yeah, I'm going to give away. I'm gonna choose a winner from my drive up there. Like I said, I'm gonna see my mother. Then I'm going to, on the drive down, I'm gonna have a second winner of seed, and then in a vlog, I'm going to announce those winners. It might not, or I might just contact you directly, if that's okay with you guys. I don't know. But I am going to figure out a winner for the first and second parts of the. I wish I had thought this out better, but I know I'm going to give away some seed. That's all I know. But the way you win is to tell me your story of how you got into palms, and not necessarily the most interesting story is going to get the win, but just the one that I can identify with the most, I think. Hey Cole, how's it going? Yeah, 15-gallon Philens will run you about in today's market, you're looking at maybe depending on where you get it from, $300 to $500, maybe more, if you really want a 15-gallon. People will crunch you. I just dropped. I'm selling germinated Philens seed right now for $10, and I'm selling seed. I have a little bit of seed left over. I'm selling it at a discount because I thought I was going to plant it. I wasn't expecting to sell it, so I have seed at $4 or 30 for $100. So if anyone's interested in that, but I am giving away a couple seed at least of Philens. So if you think about it, right there, it's going to be like $10 or $20 worth. Let's see if we can get ahead of the traffic here. Oh, we're good. Oh no, I didn't learn my lesson from the last time, not to go down this road. Killing me. I always start going here in rush hour. Normally I leave at sunset because that way just less traffic, but when the sun is setting at 6 o'clock, then you're going into traffic. Uh-oh. And if the stream goes out, I will restart and reconnect. I don't know why it does that. I don't have Wi-Fi on, because my Wi-Fi will connect to, like, I have Xfinity internet that allows me to get a hotspot. Sometimes it'll just connect to a hotspot and it'll just like go out. It's really annoying, but it's almost as annoying as this change just rolling around randomly. Okay, Crazy Plays. I'll be on sometime around 9-ish, 9:30. I'm actually going to show my mom how to subscribe to my channel, and then she can watch the live stream when it comes on. So what I might do is I might actually start the live stream in her room, although I can't. I'm going to have to keep the phone down for a second because it is in a private medical facility, and HIPAA laws won't allow me to film in there. If they see me filming, they'll get upset. So this is all water piping that is going in for city water and sewer. How to end up in Florida? I did a vlog on how I ended up in Florida, but I did a vlog about like the kind of like little history of how I got in the Palms, but how I got to Florida. Basically, I was at college in Connecticut, at a college called Connecticut College, which is, how ironic is that? And in my junior year, I was getting ready to take LSATs, and I don't know if like the anxiety kind of just like got me all worked up, but I was just having a really hard time having any focus in class, and I was really having like bad anxiety, like where I was actually like shaking and sweating in class. And I thought I was having like some sort of like breakdown or something, but I decided to take a semester off. This is January. Actually, if you can believe this, today would be 16 years to the day that I left. Who else is gonna go? Might as well. Everyone's so afraid of these four-way intersections, or they don't know what to do. So yeah, January 22nd of 2003. I was a junior in college, second semester, and I went into a class, and I just was like, I didn't know like what was going on. I left the class twice to like wash my face, and I couldn't understand. And then I had a night seminar, and my major was international politics, and it was like seminar on like Germany since World War II or something, and I couldn't walk in. My heart was like racing, and I didn't understand what it was at the time. Anyway, so I left college. My dad was not happy about it at all. He was lucky. He got happier once he knew he got his money back, because I had a halfway ride to college. My mom was supportive, and I spent a year in on the eastern end of Long Island, on an island called Shelter Island, where my mom is from. And we lived there for a while. A lot was going on. My mother has a sister that I don't consider, any relation to but this is kind of like a lot of like personal info, but it's not stuff that I like, try to talk about. She tried to like take my entire grandparents' estate from my mother, and she did other terrible things that I don't even want to get into. But anyway, there was a big ensuing legal battle, and it was really rough. But in the meantime, what I did was I just started like collecting. I started like buying palm seeds, mostly like trachycarpus and stuff like that. So like I have some experience with growing trachees, but I started doing that, other cold hardy stuff I thought I could live indoors. And then my mom visited Inglewood, which is just south of Venice, in summer of 2003 with a friend, and she said, I'd like it there. I just don't want to be in this island anymore. I'm not a. It's a very small island, and even though my family has some history there, it was just a bad situation because of what had happened. And so we ended up, I was unemployed. I was actually, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so my mom had this old Mercedes turbo diesel. It didn't work, and I was like, I'm gonna get this thing fixed. So sure enough, I get the, this is a long ass story. I'm sorry about this. Maybe you guys want to hear it. So I was basically like I was able to like do some constructive things, but the palm thing is what I really liked. Anyway, we moved down here April 22nd of 04, so like a little over a year after I left college. I did not go back to college, obviously, and I just started collecting seeds, and I finally made a few posts on Garden Web, which I don't even know if that still is used back then. It was an old forum, and I got in contact with a couple from Sarasota. It's actually a vlog I've already made about them, but they helped me out a lot in like learning how to grow stuff, where to find rare plants, seeds, and then through some forums and a lot of like internet connections that I made back then. That was like the first generation of like the internet bringing people together. So anyway, after a little while, I found it therapeutic. It really helped my anxiety. I was able to break through a lot of that. And yeah, that's how I got into palms. People started buying stuff from me, and I just had a nursery. People started growing more, but yet people still fail to turn on their headlights. Is that Florida? You mean like, is what Florida is where I am right now, Florida? I mean, I'm in Florida right now, if that's what you're asking. This is the northwest quadrant of Cape Coral. So yeah, I from there I just kind of had the nursery in Venice. I mean, I don't know how many of you watch the vlogs, but I've had 3 nurseries, and all 3 times I've dealt with people that have either kind of misled me. So my first nursery I was a little bit misled because I shelled out a lot of money to build a shade house for the guy, and then he decided to build it and then gave me my money back. So he kind of used me as like a backup, but I had to pull the money out of a credit line. So that was kind of, I thought that was pretty shitty. Anyway, the second time, the guy foreclosed on the property, didn't let me know about it, and I had to like break my way in and get my plans. And the third time was the one you guys see in the vlog, which was the worst of all 3, because the guy essentially wanted me to be like his workhorse and like, give him all this information and plants and grow for him and not for other people. And Hurricane Irma, he uses it as an excuse that like, because the shade cloth was blown away, that my shade house was, anyway, I had spent thousands of dollars on that, and he tried to screw me another way with some other plant. It's a long story, but he was more concerned about the money and not the plants, and he was that was my final straw. I'm not going to build another nursery unless I have it on land that I own myself. So. But I think it really is important to have a mentor of sorts. If you can work at a local nursery, if you live in like, California, Texas, even places like Dallas, if you guys live in Dallas, I know people in the Dallas area that might be willing to take on someone, if you have a little bit of free time, you can learn a lot from them. Because those guys have spent a lot of money killing plants, meaning like they've learned trial and error. I spent way more money than I want to think about killing plants to know that they won't live here. Yeah, so you guys are seeing, this is mostly, there's some Australian pine here, and then there's slash pines, there's live oaks, there's scrub oaks, Yeah, palmettos, serenoa, saw palmettos, and you know, getting some funny messages. All right. Wait, this is not a good place to plug this in. That's all right. I have enough battery power. I'm just gonna burn the. I'm just touching my phone to see how it's getting hot. Why is it? I guess it's just gonna naturally get hot. Yeah, Daniel, thanks for mentioning that. If you guys want to do that, the best way I think to do that is to make a page that is basically like discussion about the vlogs and plants. I mean, there's a lot of palm pages, but if you want to have a page, what I do is I make a page called like the Palm Fiend vlog page, and I can just admin it. We can discuss stuff, and you can ask questions. Oh, but Danny, I'll contact you later, but I had to kind of let you know. So what species can rival? Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay. So king, queen, what could rival it? Probably depending on where you. The thing is that queens and Washingtonias can grow in every single part of Southern California. Some palms in certain areas, like Howea forsteriana, the Kentia palm, does really well in coastal Southern California. And then some other palms like Brahia or some other like hot fan palms like Copernicia do well. Okay. I get notifications of live streams while I'm live streaming, like from poker bloggers. Yeah, and share photos, that sort of thing, from your area, from your neck of the woods. I'd be happy to do that. I thought about starting like a unaffiliated palm society that's like non-geographic in origin, but I don't know whether that would benefit. Anyway, Parker, Howea would be good for coastal Southern California, would rival it for sure. It's a little bit slower grower, but Beccario Phoenix alfredii would definitely be ideal for all parts of Southern California. Not only does it look like a coconut, but it's cold hardy and fully sun hardy to all parts of SoCal, as far as I know. I don't know if it would do. I think it would do okay in the high desert as well. I know it gets kind of chilly up there, like Lancaster, Palmdale, Victorville, and Marstow. I know it gets real brutal out there. Yes, you can grow Kentias in Florida, but they're going to mostly be in shade. There's another species of the Howea called Howea belmoriana, which my friend Ken actually had growing in full sun. He sold it, but it had a few feet of trunk. They're a little bit slow, and then they're never going to look as nice as the ones in California. The ones in California are amazing. There's a few other palms that are like them that do excellent as well. So in California. Yeah, a lot of I've seen a lot of Howeas growing in areas like Santa Monica, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, San Diego, parts of like Beverly Hills and area. They are definitely like a more. I just got a whiff of the garbage dump that's not too far away from here. They're ideal for growing in those coastal localities or a little bit higher altitude. Once you get into like Ontario and like Rancho Cucamonga and San Bernardino, Howeas don't do well at all. It's just too hot, too dry. Even though they grow in Mediterranean climates, they're native to like more of a cloud forest type of climate where it's kind of like misty and cool most of the day. So is what on CITES? What Becario Phoenix Alfredi? So yeah, I did some research. The thing is that Becario Phoenix. Thank you, Mark and Q. I really, that means a lot to me. It's flattering. I don't, I would like to help as many people as I can through this vlog. What's it called? Oh, that's great. Yeah, the IPS forum is great too. But yeah, thanks. It really means a lot. I want to, like I said, I want to help as many people as possible with the vlog, and just videotape my adventures in the plant world. They're not as interesting at the moment. That's why I'm kind of doing more info related ones. But where is so Becario Phoenix is a genus that many of you may be familiar with, the window pane palm. It's been kind of weird. So there are 3 species of Becario Phoenix. There's Becario Phoenix madagascariensis, there's Becario Phoenix fenestralis, and there's Becario Phoenix alfredii. And no. So while I try and focus on not passing these people, Becario Phoenix Becario Phoenix fenestralis is the palm that is known as the window pane palm. It is the biggest of the 3. It has like openings in its leaflets when it's younger, and I find it to be like, it kind of looks the most like a coconut if you ask me, but it does have iron deficient issues, boron issues. It can cause a lot of yellowing of the leaflets. Becario Phoenix madagascariensis is the non-window pane form. It looks pretty close to the Windows form, but it's a little bit. It's also called the coastal form, and it's a little more hardy too. It'll grow like a coconut right along the beach, and it is quite a big, more archaic looking plant. It's not as big as Madagascar, as fenestralis. Fenes meaning window, and australis meaning, I don't know if that's Latin or Greek, but I thought it was meaning like australis meaning southern. I'm not sure though. No, I'm sorry. Fenestral means that which has windows. So the Madagascariensis non-windows form is good for they're slow growing, but they're good with coastal cold conditions. Then alfredii is a little bit smaller than the other 2, but it's probably about the size of a coconut, and it's cold hardy and does well in all sorts of climates. And so alfredii is the one that's on CITES, not the other. I'm sorry, not alfredii. Madagascariensis is on CITES. The problem is that fenestralis was once known as madagascariensis, and so people, it was confusing to like customs, so people would get their stuff confiscated, even though they weren't importing any seed that was, that was against the rules. A lot of alfredii was confiscated. They just kind of like started burning all the Becario things. So I'm getting some serious. I can't tell what this guy has in the back of his truck, but it's definitely too heavy for the back of it, and definitely too high for it. This is a classic, like, I'm not going to go fast because I'm concerned about what's in the back of my vehicle. But I'll get to the comments in a second. I'm just going to focus on the road here for a minute until I can get around this guy. Because the tires don't even look they're the same width. And just one side's kind of drooping down. It's one of those things where, like, I want to make sure that the thing doesn't fall at the back and I crash into it and destroy my truck. But I will get to everything that everyone is saying. He's actually going not too slow right now, so. Yeah, so Vicario Phoenix doesn't seem to have that pink rod issue. You know, Queens aren't going to grow that robust near the coast, but they're kind of good for the middle area, like inland Orange, inland LA County, but they're not as good in San Bernardino and Riverside. I mean, I'm sure they grow okay if you irrigate them, but you got to definitely make sure that you're on top of that. Okay, all right, so I don't have to worry about this guy in about 5 seconds. And he stays in the fast lane anyway, and speeds up. It looks like some sort of, I don't even know what that is. Big tile cutting machine, but it definitely, it's just shady. It's okay. I mean, maybe it's the only truck he has, but he's gonna overput. That one guy. I like that name. Yeah, Alfredi in 7 gallons. You know, I used to have I had so many seeds and so many seedlings. I just sold them all. But palm fertilizer, good idea, Market Q. More prehistoric looking palms. So, to me, I think that the most prehistoric looking palms are either have prehistoric looking seed, or they're big, or they just have, like, you know, a lot of ruggedness about them. One of them being Nipa fruticans, which is I've mentioned on the live stream before. I haven't done a vlog on it because I got to go to Miami to do that, unfortunately. And not just any part of Miami. I have to go to, like, Fairchild. I'd say Brazos is pretty prehistoric looking. Corifa, a lot of the big palmate palms. Bismarckia has that prehistoric look. Phoenix is probably one of the pinnate palms that has the most prehistoric look about it. Maybe some raphias. I haven't done any videos on any raphias, which are actually pretty neat. Oh yeah, so maybe I can talk a little about that, Daniel. So the guy who I mentioned in the last vlog about the International Palm Society, his name is Den Smith, and like I said, he was from Daytona Beach. I don't know if he grew up there or he moved there, but Daytona Beach, you have to understand, in 1956 was not even, you know, was just, there's no Daytona 500, there's no Disney World, there was no NASA, so there was no, he just kind of was, I might make this late. He was kind of just a guy that loved plants so much he was willing to do whatever it took to. Good, I don't have to videotape myself trying to get through a yellow light like that. Alright, there we go. Alright. And I think he passed away in the 80s, but a lot of the people that, you know, what he did started what we have today is International Palm Society, and it's not around now, but there's only one lady that's still around from the original group. And those people are the reason that, like, Sadakentia is around now, like Keniopsis, like Hal Moore, who used to do a lot of botanical work in New Caledonia and Madagascar. He actually had a genus named after him that ended up being lumped into another genus called Halmoria. It's now part of Arania, which I'd like to do a vlog on as well. Aranias are pretty cool palms that are not spoken of a lot. Aranias kind of look like coconuts too, in my opinion. Oh, Bobby, I guess from 628. Well, on the live stream or is on the? I haven't gotten to the comments on the last couple of vlogs. I'm sorry about that. I see them and I mean to respond, but usually when I see them, it's like before I'm falling asleep, and I'm like, I'll get to that tomorrow, and then I don't do it. So that's just my fault. I'm being lazy. So Stephanie, you asking what seeds I have for sale or what seeds I'm giving away? Bobby will not be ignored. Bobby, I'm sorry. Is it if it's from a vlog, let me know. I'm sorry about the sometimes like YouTube doesn't notify me of everything or a reply or something like that. That's why I just like the YouTube like messenger way, like looking at the vlog. I just don't like it because it's too janky for me. Even on my computer, it doesn't do well. Yeah, there's a couple palms. There's Tectophiala ferox is my number one candidate. There's a couple new plants coming out from Indonesia and Philippines, new palms. What else is there? There's a couple new Caledonian palms I'd like to get a hold of. And there's Cerebus genii, which I think would do well here. A few Cuban palms that are very rare and almost unseen in cultivation. I've never been offered seed of them, and I've never seen them for sale, although I think I might be able to get some in the future. So yeah, Cuba, New Caledonia, and the Indian Ocean there is going to be 6:28 p.m. Bobby, I don't have a my scroll thing is kind of like hard to use when I'm driving. I don't want to do that. If you could just like say what you wanted to say again, I'm sorry. I just don't want to. Best resource for the dichotomous keys for simply for some fairly simple genera. Yeah, there's some books on them. There's a Palms of Australia book. The best book for that is Genera Palmarum, the second volume. It came out around 2009. I have the book. I actually was going through some boxes and found it. And there are a lot of palm books out there, but that one kind of goes through almost everything. I mean, obviously it doesn't have the newer palms in, but like doesn't have Sabinaria in it. But it has all the dipsis kind of relabeled properly for the most part. So as far as finding that online, you can try going to palmpedia.net, and there's a lot of photos. The guy who kind of runs the International Palm Society forum, like he does like the computer stuff, he runs that site. It's kind of like Wikipedia for palms. It's really good. He's a great guy. His name is Dean Auer, and I even have some photos on there for just general use. All right, we're about to jump over the bridge. It's 67 degrees here, so you can see there's obviously a difference between here and Cape Coral, which is about. I've been driving for about 20 miles now, or about 30 kilometers. So like I can see that truck in the outback of like Australia, but I just don't understand why people here have it. There isn't even any. There's no off-roading to do here. It costs like $6,000 to do that to your truck too. Okay, question was the Florida nurseries send Canada potted palms. Wow, what is going on here? A lot of people crossing the bridge, I guess. Sorry, Bobby, just wanted to focus on I don't get it. I don't understand. This guy cuts me off. All right. Sorry, Bobby, I want to get to that in just a second. When there's traffic, I just kind of get the twilight of day here on the bridge. This is the Peace River. This flows almost all the way to Disney World. It's one of the larger rivers in Florida as far as lengthwise. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So, Bobby, the short answer to that question is that the main reason they do that is because the soil is cheap. Mostly when you just put sphagnum, when you put shredded sphagnum in there, sphagnum peat moss, not the long fiber orchid moss. It's like brown. It's real fine. They usually just put that and perlite. It's the two cheapest components of soil. So they'll do that and they'll grow it up in like perfect conditions. They'll send it off to like, a store, and then they will they'll just kind of, what is going on here? That's not Wayne. And then they don't expect anyone to actually keep the palm alive. They consider it to be an annual. And I've actually talked to someone at these nurseries that have told me this. So basically, they're growing a bunch of palms up just to kill them, which is kind of sad. I mean, if there's 100,000 of them, and people are buying it knowing that, it's one thing, but they don't expect the palms to go in the ground. Yeah, Bob, I mean, I wish I could say that was like the most, that's probably like the fourth like weird thing I've seen so far today. Like two guys not driving with their lights on, just random stuff, driving on the wrong side of the road. I mean, that happens so often here. I look out for it, like especially at night. So he was confused. There's some people here that when they usually I've seen it with certain age populations and certain other certain types of population. I'm not going to get into it, but when they're confused, they will just stop where they are and stop the car completely, and until they figure out where they're going to go. So, does it have keys to it? Yeah, there are keys on there. There's like a imprints of the leaf, and it'll tell you what to look for. It's pretty. Palmpedia is probably the best free resource. I think they have keys. I don't know if they have keys or not. I got to check. Maybe on some they have them, but a lot of that's copyrighted material. So yeah. So if you want to, Bobby, you can like take one of the palms you get, take all the soil off, and make your own mix. Because that's probably why they're rotting, especially in an indoor climate. Because obviously they would like for you to buy more, and people think, oh well, I killed this palm because it's not meant to live here, but that's not necessarily the case. Yeah, I spend, to give you an idea, like the last cubic yard of soil that I buy, I don't buy a lot of soil right now because I usually just, sorry. Jeez. I spent $100 on a cubic yard of soil, and that's like a commercial grade, stuff that's, but I know people who sell like garbage soil for $18 a yard, but it's garbage soil. So if the plant's going to die, then like it really isn't worth anything to me. I've tried it before. I spent $40 on sort of like mid-grade stuff. It's kind of like you get what you pay for. Stuff I have now, like it actually costs about $70 a yard, but I paid someone to transport it for me here, so I gave them $30 on top of that per yard. So they went all the way halfway to the Georgia border to go get it for me because it was the right stuff. So that looks safely secured in that truck. There's so many random things that go on the roads. I wish I could tell you that I've seen everything, but I haven't. Every day or every time I think I have, I've seen something crazier. Yeah, just anything that's really fine, Bobby, just brush it off. You can use your hands, whatever comes off. I mean, you could, if you want to, you can spray it off with a hose. I don't recommend bare rooting large plants. It can be risky, but it can be done. A lot of those roots have like, you don't want to like blast all the soil off. Those big roots will take some of that. And this guy's flashing that guy to turn his lights on, and of course he's not doing it. So at least he's trying. I give him that. I mean, that's like the third person I've seen in 25 miles. Now I was going to go up right next to him and tell him. But it just, when you don't have your lights on and at night, I just don't get it. Like, you want to die? Because it's really, people aren't looking out for that around here. Anyway, let's go back to plants. Yeah, I wish the police would do more about it, honestly. If they want to give out tickets, just give them out to the people who are doing, Okay. Barely going. Yeah, I think Parker. That's what, because like a lot of that botanical stuff is copyrighted material, and they can't use some of it. Most expensive palm, juvenile or younger, ever purchased. God, if it were Psycat, I could tell you, but palm. I didn't buy this for myself. I bought it for resale, but I did spend $1,500 on a 15-gallon Cyphosperma Balancea back when they were virtually unknown in cultivation. I'm sorry, I didn't spend it. I spent $800 on it and sold it for $1,500. Come on, what are you doing? The guy throws his car in park. He doesn't even have. You guys might see the darker side of me on this trip if this continues. You're driving me crazy. The light turns green and he puts his car from drive into park. Like he accidentally threw the shifter the wrong way. Oh, she's just texting and driving. Watch this. You want to see me? Watch. Oh, sorry guys. This is. I was gonna get right next to her. I was just gonna tell her to her face to get off her. She's on her phone, just doing nothing but just staring at it. That's why she's not. Anyway, let's get back to some plants. Yeah, don't give up because stuff is rotted in the nursery material. It's pretty much just garbage. It's cheap stuff. They can sell it cheap, get it out cheap. So the frond is going to be is attached to the rake. Sorry, this lady. I get distracted. We're good. I might have to be a mean person in this vlog. She's still. Oh yeah, she's still going at it. Sorry to be distracted, guys. Like I am live streaming, yes, but I'm hands free and she's way back there. I don't have time to. You guys don't want to see me when I'm upset. Okay, my favorite sable, James. So my favorite sable is actually an unnamed species. At least people think that they have it named, but they just haven't seen this plant in person. But it's like a giant version of sable yappa. It has leaflets that are that have splits down to the hastula, basically in 5 sections, and it looks like a big Lickawalla ramsii. It just kind of I call it sable species big yappa because it definitely can't. It isn't the regular yappa, but as far as the frond goes. A frond is not a scientific term, so it can mean the entire rachis petiole, so like the branch and the leaflets, or it can mean just the leaflets. When I say frond, I think of the area of the palm leaf where the leaflets are attached. but it's more of a a colloquial term. And I'll find a picture, put it up in my. I have it somewhere. The sad part is I had a hard drive that had all my palm pictures from 2004 to 2014, and Ashley dropped it and broke it, like beyond the point of repair. I had to get it forensically repaired, which would cost like $600 just to try. It's kind of expensive just to take a little bit of a gamble on it, but I have a lot of the pictures from my emails, so I have a good portion of them. It's kind of safe. But it does have photos, like my family photos I took when I was in Mexico of that palm. I found it. It actually found it growing just behind this like Mexican convenience store, in between like the store and like wherever the owner lived, and it was amazing. It was identical too. I mean, sometimes people just think they've seen the same thing, but this is actually the real deal. So I know that it's native to at least Quintana Roo province of Mexico. Here we go. Oh, I thought I was behind nobody. It's a scooter? No, it's a legit bike. Okay. It's hitting what off the side? Oh no, it's actually been. I actually had a friend of mine, take it apart. It's an old hard drive, so it's the old like. I bought it in 2007. I actually don't even know where it is right now. It's somewhere in my belongings, but my belongings are kind of all over the place. I have some of my sisters, some down in Cape Coral. Just that they were stored away, so I didn't bother touching them, sort of thing. I believe that the hard drive is down in Cape Coral, though. But it's totally disassembled. There's no putting it back together. So one thing you guys might find funny is that I have, obviously I have a love for poker and playing cards, and there's a story about my poker days, or like my professional, or when I was doing it for a living, and they know that this vlog exists, but they don't know. I mean, they don't know like where to find it or anything, because I don't really want to those two things to mix. I don't think that would go well. Most people in the palm world that know that I play poker think I'm just like that guy who throws all his money on like black and roulette and just hopes for the best. It's not the way it works. Anyway, yeah, I'm headed to the post office right now. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna call up the postmaster to come down and get these seeds out ASAP. The Postmaster General's meeting me in minutes. So we got about another 20 minutes or so. Not as bad as I thought. I'll be in time to see my mom for Jeopardy, because that's what she enjoys. She likes to watch Jeopardy with me. Alright. So remember, guys, like with 20 minutes left, you can tell me a story of like how you got into palms, or what got you into palms, and I'm just gonna pick a story. It's not gonna be like, the longest written one or the most intricate one, but one that is genuine and honest. I don't know if anyone lives in an area where there's or Billy Fusillo owns car dealerships, but if I get in this right lane here, I'll give you an idea of just how big his dealerships are. I don't know if anyone's ever seen dealerships this big, but this has to be at least 30 acres of land. This was it used to be just like you can see there's not many buildings. This is kind of like the dividing area between Northport and Port Charlotte, because Northport used to be called Port Charlotte before 1970 something, or it used to be called Northport Charlotte. Now it's just called Northport, but it's not a port to anywhere. So it starts right about, well, you guys can see, right about here at this road, and it goes back literally, I mean, at least probably a half a mile. This is all Kias, nothing but Kias. Up north he sells something different, but Cape Coral has the largest Kia dealership in the entire world. And I think he also holds the record for the most annoying car commercials in the entire world too. That's great, James. I know there's a couple guys. I know a guy in the Toronto area that grows spindles in the ground and goes to great lengths to, keep them warm. To the point where he takes like heating prods, puts them underneath to keep the roots from freezing, which is very important in a tropical. I mean, a spindle is a zone 10 palm. So, I mean, it'll grow in 9B, like marginal 9B 10A. I'm gonna say marginal 10A climates. Like I would try it out if I lived in Tampa, but I think that I would expect it to take some hits. YouTube actually inspired me to buy an RV, which is kind of sad. I mean, I ended up selling it. I don't know if you guys ever told you about that, but that RV I had, I sold. Those of you who've been with me for a year or so would remember that. Oh, they're widening this even more. How many lanes are they going to make it? So 30 years ago, this was a 2-lane road. 1 lane this way, 1 lane that way. But yeah, James, I did the same thing, but in Cocoa Beach, it was my grandparents' place. But I would often go to Orlando for theme parks and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Myrtle Beach can do that too. Myrtle Beach is kind of like the first place on the what's it called, on the East Coast that you'll really see like a plethora of palms in a city. Because if you go further north, like Wilmington has them, yes, and so does like places like Jacksonville and even Virginia Beach, but they're not to the point where like Myrtle Beach, like palms have become almost dominant in the landscape. So I had a spindle one time in 2010, 2011, really did a number on it in Venice, the point where I thought it was rotting in the crown. So because the crown is so easy to access, and I went to extreme measures. I started cutting away the crown, and it still rotted. Took a chainsaw and cut the crown in half, found non-fungal growth, and it just grew right out of it. So, oh, Aaron, well, first of all, hello, and that's great to hear that, that it's helping you out as well. That was my aim in obviously starting this vlog. I started it with just kind of like showing some stuff around, and I thought about elevating it with like a nicer camera, a nicer an intro or something. I wasn't gonna make it like cheesy like every other vlog, but just something different, maybe something that's just more with a little bit of editing to it. I don't know, but everyone said no, so all right. So we were in Northport here. Yeah, James, I don't know the guy's name, but it was a long time back. I think it was actually in my Garden Web days. Oh, my mom's calling. Hold on, I gotta. All right, here we go. Yeah, Dylan, I used to go to Virginia Beach when I was between the ages of 6 and 16. I lived in Richmond, and we go to Virginia Beach a lot, either at friends' houses or, just renting hotels with family. And I would see the palmettos there, and I'd see them wrapped up in the winter. Only 3 people watching. Palm surgery. Yeah, so. Yeah, Bobby, I can imagine, if you're in Canada and you see palms somewhere. I was in Vermont at my dad's place, and I saw someone had a nice potted Majesty. So I went in and I asked him, like, where did you get this? And he would tell me, and I said, I grow these, in Florida, and really sparked his interest. It was cool. People who share that common thing, just really helps. So, yeah, the palm surgery. So, yeah, so basically I chainsawed it, and it came back. Looked like nothing had happened. As long as you don't harm the trunk, you won't really get any stunting. You'll get a little bit of a small ring because it didn't grow much during that period of the freeze. But all right, so yes, you never cared much for palms in Bismarck and had to have one tiny one for 125. Yeah, in that one guy, there are some sites out there that are absolutely ludicrous. Here's a quick story. I was just Googling some palm stuff, and I found this one site where these guys were selling like 7-gallon, very common palms I'd spend $25 wholesale on for like $500. And I was wondering who was like brave enough to like rip off people this badly. And I like Googled where this business was from, and it said it was in Inglewood, which was 10 miles away from me. So I went to the address, and there was like nobody there. It was just like this random warehouse shack, and there were no palms there. He must have just bought them and resold them to people who were just going to spend an insane amount of money. Oh, so there were palms on private lots. That's something I didn't see there. I haven't been there since around 19. No, I drove through there in 2009, actually. Yeah, Paul, hello. And yeah, you can call me the palm tree guy. Call me the palm guy, because palms aren't trees. But whatever, you can call me that too. So yeah, I've been in many situations where I've seen I've kind of gone into like a nursery where someone, where people are selling, because palm collectors are kind of like a smaller, well-known group in Florida. But if you go to like a common plant nursery and I see some rare plants there, I'll go in and I'll ask some questions about it to kind of get some information to see how much someone would know about the plant. And about 10 years ago, I went into a nursery in Venice that happened to get some licowalas and some lipstick, some Cerastachys renda in. And they wanted $225 for a 7-gallon. And for a lipstick, that's actually not a bad deal now. Wasn't a great deal then, but hold on, this guy's like doing everything in his power to not let me in this lane. So I asked the lady that was there, I'm like, can you tell me some more about these plants? And she's like, oh yeah, we just got them in, and they're really rare. And I mean, they're not common, but they're not really rare. They're uncommon, I would say. But she made it sound like they had just gotten something from a shipment in the like from the freaking Pacific, or like some, and I was like, yeah, they're kind of, definitely more expensive than your other 7 gallons. And I was like, how do they do outside? She's like, oh yeah, they'll take like full sun, and that, they're great for our climate. And I'm thinking, well, the licoala won't take full sun, and it might survive here, and the lipstick won't even survive in Miami Beach. I mean, long term. And I just was like, oh yeah, that's there's some cool plants. And she's like, oh, which one do you like? And I'm like, well, I like all of them, but I don't. And then at the end, she's like, have you seen one before? I'm like, yeah, I grew about 1,000 of these about a year ago. And she had this look on her face like, what the hell just happened? It's kind of funny, actually. So Aaron. Oh, Aaron, that's a great idea. Getting that acreage in Florida, especially before some other big company gobbles it up, is, definitely key. If I were to buy some acreage right now, I'd probably buy it like in Lake County or Lake or Sumter County. It's such a beautiful area. I was actually offered some property there, but the problem is it needed so much improvement. It was just on a dirt road, off a dirt road, and I don't even know if I could have gotten electric there. I guess we're in full season traffic here. Full season here. So my mom was like, "Hey, why haven't you called me?" And and she doesn't know I'm coming, so maybe I should keep the live. I want to keep the live stream going and kind of like surprise her on live stream, but I don't know if I really be compromising other people's privacy doing that, and I wouldn't want that done to me. So. So weird, just kind of like, this is River Road running basically on the border of Venice and Northport. It gets pretty chilly out here. It's still 67 actually, but it gives you an idea of. Okay, Paul, see you later. So Bob, that's interesting, and that's something that I don't remember, but I could see that happening with this, with there being more information about palms in general in the past, say, 20 years. I think that people in Virginia Beach realize that they can grow palmettos there. I mean, there might be a blast that kills it, but Sable Minor will definitely do fine there, and palmetto would do fine there 95% of the time, unprotected. So yeah, James, I find that when I send seeds out, one of the most difficult countries to send seeds to is actually Canada, which makes no sense because Canada doesn't have like issues with tropical plant disease, and they don't have any like expedited way to send them there. Everything that goes through Canada seems to take a while. I've sent seeds to Canada recently. I don't get a lot of shipments or a lot of orders from Canada for stuff, but when I do, I have to kind of like let the person know that it may take longer than what you would think. So I think that's something that should definitely get fixed. Canada and the U.S. shouldn't have like such a long shipping time between the two countries. I can send things to most of Europe and Australia faster than I can to Canada. Oh man, all it takes is one person to just not be paying any attention to go like 10 under the speed limit. Okay, so yeah, I haven't seen some of the new developments. Like I said, I drove through there in 2009, but my experience like being around the city, really, it's been like 20 years, and I was a teenager then. So sable palms are weeds. Well, they're weeds here for sure. I mean, as far as like they grow everywhere and they don't need any help and they just kind of pop up. But I'll take them over many other things any day of the week. Looking for teddy bears. I'll tell you a funny story about teddy bears. I had a friend that had a seeding one, and he's like, Christian, you want the seed? And at the time I really wasn't growing. I was working at Fairchild. I didn't have any time to grow any seeds. I was like, no, I'm good. And so he lets the bracteates kind of fall down, the seeds, and he had literally teddy bears growing everywhere. And he's like, oh, just let a few grow on. And he actually had to end up chainsawing a bunch down because they were actually very weedy in his yard. Yeah, I've heard that sable miner can spread quite a bit, and it's I don't see sable miners being a problem plant for like non-native areas. Yes, it can grow outside of cultivation, but it's not a trunking plant that kind of overtakes other plants that are native to the area. And it doesn't like suck out dry all the water. Usually grows in like some pretty undesirable areas anyway, like swampy areas. So about 5 minutes left. Yeah, it's pretty classic to see sables popping and sprouting up just about anywhere. I've seen sables growing on the roofs of old houses that haven't been lived in a while. Like the gutter had some soil in it, and you'd see, it was either a sable or a Washingtonian. It was hard to tell because it was like up high, but. And in Miami, a lot of times the Christmas and Tychosperma and Adenidias, they'll pop up in hedges because some bird moved them somewhere, some squirrel came into them. I wonder how hot this phone is. Okay, so it's not really warm. That's good. Yeah, and see, sable miner is something that I see around here, but I don't really grow because I don't have a market for it. I'll sell the seed, but if I try and sell sable miners to like even landscapers around here, then I'm not gonna make any. I'm gonna. But it's great for cold hardy areas where there's less options. People see sable miner around here and they just don't even think of it. I think it's just a weed, unfortunately, which it is. That light is shining like right on people's backyards. I can't imagine that is comfortable for those people. Yeah, those are some nice dactyliferous. They really take care of them. That development came around 2000 and late 05, early 06. I used to drive through there actually to get to my nursery. It was a back road, and then they closed it off, which I didn't even know was legal. But you pay the city council members around here enough money, I guess you can get anything done. Yeah, we have some, the weediest palms here are going to be like Phoenix reclinata, Chinese fans, Washingtonias, sometimes Royals, depending on the situation. And when you get further south, like in Cape Coral, like coconuts can kind of become, like if you leave them laying around in the summer, they can just kind of grow up. I know that sounds crazy, but in Hawaii, it's kind of a big problem. If you think about it, like how big the nuts are on coconuts, they can be a little bit dangerous. Working by Washingtonia, Central East Coast. Probably not the best person to ask for that because I don't really. You're gonna want to go to like a wholesale nursery. That's one area I don't really know that well. You're talking like Brevard County, essentially. I'm assuming. I know a guy who grows palms on Merritt Island, but he doesn't grow Washingtonians. I would actually go on plantand.com. Yeah, I would go to Orlando. Orlando is probably the best place to find them. Outside of Orlando, like Apopka, that area is a big agricultural area and would be growing stuff like that. If you want to get a decent size one. Yeah, South Texas is definitely a good climate for that, especially if you get a little bit off the coast where it's a little bit drier. Because like right on the coast, it's a little bit more like humid subtropical, but when you get to like Laredo, Del Rio, or even like 20, 30 miles inland from Brownsville, Weslaco, it becomes more of like a semi-arid, hot semi-arid, which is, or hot, warm Mediterranean maybe. So we are like 2 minutes away now, but I will be back. So it didn't take me that long actually, because I was on the stream for what? I was on the stream for like 5 minutes before I even left the house, so an hour and 17 minutes. I think the highway is closer to like an hour and 5 minutes, but it's also an extra 10 miles. So in gas and mileage. If I had a car that had like 200,000 or 100,000 miles on it, I wouldn't care, but Flower Bluffs. Inland Corpus, okay. Yeah, I've been to Corpus Christi once. It was really weird. Downtown was all abandoned, but then the beach was pretty interesting. We spent a lot of money on a hotel room though, and the water was like muddy. I guess I'm spoiled here. Well, we have red tide now, so red tide is about as political as I'll get. But yeah, I'm here now, so I want to say goodbye for now, but probably in about an hour and a half-ish, maybe. It really depends on how my mom's feeling. I'm going to try and get her live. Maybe she'll start typing on here. It'd be kind of funny. So, anyways, yeah. Oh. Yeah, it seems like the outside areas are actually pretty. There's actually a lot of people here for 7:15 at night. I wonder why that is. I just get nervous parking next to a lot of these people. I would honestly sometimes wish I just had like a really cheap car. I mean, not. I already had someone bust the side of my door. Okay. All right. So. All right, James. See you later. Hopefully, everyone. Inland Corpus. Yeah. So. I'll see everyone later on if you want to come online. Like I said, it'll be around 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So until then, I will see you guys.